I would like my scorecard is like 8-4.
Okay.
8-4 or 7-5 is the worst. Even though he's moving around, like I can imagine why I lost the fight.
Manny Pacquiao overachieved the way he did at that age, what, 46? I don't think it would have been irrational to score it for Pacquiao 7-5.
Manny Pacquiao didn't hold back after the scorecards were read. His reaction was fiery, his words sharp, he was furious.
But I don't think I thought I won the fight. Like I throw a lot of punches, even though he's moving around. Like I can imagine why I lost the fight.
According to him and many others, what was just witnessed wasn't a fair contest, but a robbery in plain sight. The controversial draw decision in his fight against Mario Barrios had fans and professionals alike questioning the integrity of the judges. The moment the bout ended, Pacquiao was seen shaking his head in disbelief. Many believed he had clearly done enough to secure the win. Instead, the judges ruled it a draw, prompting Pacquiao to claim that Barrios had the judges in his pocket.
Honestly, I would like to see a rematch. I would like to see a rematch. Why? Because I don't think that was a legitimate decision. So, but it is what it is, you know.
This narrative sent shockwaves through the boxing world, igniting debate among fighters, analysts, and fans. And truth be told, a significant portion of the boxing community stood firmly behind Pacquiao. Several seasoned pros openly voiced their agreement, arguing that Manny had dominated most of the rounds with sharper punches, better movement, and more ring control. In their view, the decision was not only wrong, but deeply damaging to the sport's credibility. Some even went as far as to say that this was one of the clearest examples in recent memory of a legend being robbed on the scorecards.
Jim, did you think Pacquiao won that fight?
It was good Manny Pacquiao won. Yes, I did.
Clearly, was there any room for
discussion?
Clear
to me. I'm not a judge, but it's clear to me and clear to my eyes. And it's a shame. It's a shame for boxing. Two judges who, you know, can't decide who the winner is. Really? Mm-hmm. So yeah, you know. Barrios the champion, I guess you have to beat the champion, and I guess in their eyes they didn't clearly do that. But to me, it was an astounding, amazing, outstanding performance by a 46-year-old man who has not fought in 4 years, who had the stamina, the wherewithal, the guts, the determination, that this is one of the all-time great performances.
The general reaction after the final bell was overwhelmingly in Pacquiao's favor. Throughout the match, he looked sharp despite his age and time away from the ring. His footwork, head movement, and counterpunching reminded many why he's considered one of the all-time greats. From the first round, Manny showed aggression, landing more accurate shots, and often making Barrios miss badly. His timing was on point, and he made it clear he came to win, not just compete.
I think that one is God-given because actually I had great timing for a very long time. That always been my real specialty. So I'm gonna say, of course, it is hours in the gym, you know, perfecting your craft, but also sometimes God just blesses certain few.
And one more follow-up to that: when it comes to the timing, do you find that it takes time for you to actually find it, or is it something that just kind of happens?
For me, it's something that just happens, like just that quick or whatever, and then after that, now it's just all about me playing with it. Okay.
On the other hand, Barrios, while strong and durable, seemed to struggle with Pacquiao's speed and ring IQ. He had his moments, landing a few strong body shots and pushing forward in the later rounds, but many observers felt his offense was far less effective overall. Analysts pointed out that Barrios was often reactive, waiting too long to engage and failing to control the pace. In contrast, Pacquiao dictated most of the action. By the time the fight was over, both fans in the arena and those watching from home were expecting a unanimous or at least a split decision in Pacquiao's favor.
By the way, credit to Manny. At 46, he still had some feet. He was moving, dancing on Mario Barrios. He was countering Mario Barrios, who looked like a stick in the mud. He looked like he couldn't even get out of first gear because Manny was hitting with combinations. Were they hurting super bad? Maybe not. Some of them definitely were. Had a mouse under the eye of Mario Barrios, but others were just flurries, and they were keeping Barrios at bay. And when Barrios was throwing one, Pacquiao was throwing three. When Barrios would throw out his jab, Manny would counter with his lead right hand, stepping on the inside plane, doing all the old Manny shit. It was pretty cool. cool to see. And honestly, even with the majority draw, it's a win for Manny because damn, if he can do that off a 3-year layoff at 46, that's pretty telling for one, where the sport of boxing is when your world champ can't beat 46-year-old politician Manny Pacquiao.
That's why the announcement of a draw shocked everyone. The crowd's reaction was immediate. Boos filled the arena, with even neutral fans shaking their heads. Social media exploded, with hashtags like Pacquiao was robbed trending within minutes. Boxers, journalists, and trainers chimed in, with many labeling the decision as shameful. Several pointed to the CompuBox stats, which reportedly favored Pacquiao in nearly every meaningful category, including total punches landed and overall accuracy.
I think a fight that historic deserved a winner. And I think, though by the numbers, this is me personally, I think by the numbers, it's a draw, but the feel of the fight, I think Pacquiao deserved the nod 7-5, all right? And I think if the judges would have ruled it for Manny Pacquiao, because of the spirit of the crowd and the hearts who were involved, to see Manny Pacquiao overachieve the way he did at that age, 46? I don't think it would have been irrational.
Former champions and current contenders also had plenty to say. One respected fighter was Chris Algieri, who stated that he witnessed a great performance by Pacquiao, noting that while Barrios showed toughness, he lacked the sharpness and consistency needed to win that kind of fight.
Man, I think, listen, it's a super close fight. Actually, where are we going?
We're this way, right?
I said, that's right? Okay.
We got up and out,
Super close fight, back and forth. I mean, Manny shocked me. I didn't think that he was going to be able to do the 12 rounds route. He looked really good until the 12th round. And Barrios just didn't do enough, man. He just was stuck in second gear. It seemed like there were a lot of opportunities for him to take advantage, and he just didn't. Manny did a great job of utilizing the crowd, utilizing his hand speed, his foot speed, some movement just to keep the emotion there. I was saying during the PPV.com live chat, I mean, Barrios fighting with zero swagger, with no attitude.
He further asserted that Manny's performance surprised a lot of people, calling it a case of Manny shocking many. He emphasized how impressive Pacquiao looked despite his age and time away from the sport, proving he still has what it takes to compete at the top level. Reflecting on the controversial decision, he expressed his disappointment and suggested it didn't reflect what actually happened in the ring. Sharing his thoughts on a possible rematch between Manny and Barrios, he pointed out that it would be a huge financial opportunity for Barrios. While Barrios might benefit from the payday, he noted that Pacquiao has multiple options on the table, even hinting at a potential blockbuster fight with Floyd Mayweather still being a possibility.
As close as that fight, was, I mean, how do you not give it to Manny?
How surprised, and you naturally surprised with the decision, the majority draw, do you feel like we should get a rematch?
That's entirely up to Manny. That's entirely up to Manny. I gotta catch a flight. I got a red-eye flight. That's entirely up to Manny. I think he's in the driver's seat now. It's amazing that he was able to, to fight at that level. But I think, Barrios is definitely gonna want the fight. It's money. It's a big money opportunity. But I don't know, man. I think Manny has a lot of options because, listen, if Floyd's talking about coming back.
Andre Ward also weighed in with his perspective. He acknowledged that while Manny may have lost a few of the later rounds, he had clearly done enough in the earlier ones by outscoring and outboxing Barrios, making it a win in his eyes. Ward emphasized that decisions like this are more damaging to boxing than any trash talk or over-the-top promotion. When fighters start to feel that outclassing their opponents isn't enough to secure a victory unless they score a knockout, it chips away at the sport's credibility and shakes the trust that fans and fighters alike have in fair competition.
I don't know, man. I thought Manny won that. I thought Manny won that fight, brother. I know he lost the last round. I think on all the judges' scorecards, that was the difference maker. I thought Manny won the fight, bro. I thought he did more. I thought Manny did more, man. What y'all think? Manny won the fight. Wasn't by a lot, but it was enough. I thought Manny did more in certain rounds and stole rounds. It was some close rounds, but I thought Manny did what he's supposed to do. The other thing, I don't know if it's just because I knew Manny was 46 tonight. But them rounds is going by super slow.
It wasn't just people from within the sport who raised concerns. Prominent journalists also voiced their doubts, including Sean Zettel, who discussed the outcome with fellow reporter Radio Raheem. During their exchange, Raheem expressed clear confusion over the judge's call, stating that there was simply no way Barrios did enough to earn a draw. He emphasized that had the roles been reversed and Pacquiao had fought the way Barrios did, there's little chance he would have received the same benefit from the judges. Their conversation reflected the broader sentiment that the decision didn't align with what actually took place in the ring.
What you saw as slowed down was still too fast for him because he hasn't been looking at it for 20 years. And it hasn't been in front of us for 4 years. And he wasn't in there game planning against that. He was looking for a 46-year-old fighter. And this is what is the difference between a great fighter and a really good fighter. Manny Pacquiao last night was not a great fighter in his prime. He was a great fighter who was just a good fighter who was still a better fighter than the world champion at the time. He was so great in his prime that when he came down levels to being good, he's still better than the good ones.
The whole situation reignited long-standing concerns about judging inconsistencies in boxing. Fights like this remind fans why they often find the sport frustrating. In a bout where the performance gap seemed clear to the vast majority, the final result raised more questions than answers. Some fans even speculated about corruption, while others blamed incompetence. Regardless of the reason, the consensus was that the decision robbed Pacquiao of a well-earned win.
We always talk about a fighter getting old on fight night, and there's just this difference between training, the energy needed for training, the kind of focus and intensity. You can't really simulate a fight night. So that's why we always say, oh man, he got old overnight, he got old on fight night, because you don't see it in the gym, you don't really know it in the gym. Manny looked great when we saw him. Main thing was he kept bouncing, kept moving. Sean Zettel said on the Quarterback podcast that he was surprised in the 7th round to see Manny moving the way that he was. I wasn't, because we saw those things. Those were the kinds of things that gave me the feeling that Manny would do very well.
Adding more to the controversy was Pacquiao's visible frustration in the post-fight interview. He made no effort to hide his emotions, stating that he didn't fight just to end up being denied again. He mentioned feeling disrespected, not just for himself, but for the sport. For a fighter of his stature, who returned to the ring after years of retirement and still showed the ability to compete at the highest level, the outcome felt especially unfair.
I'm so happy with my performance for 2 months training and no fight for 4 years. But for me, it's good for in a fight like that. I want 3 months or 4 months training. But it just happened that I was in election in the Philippines. I'm campaigning, so I'm so busy. That's why I start late. But thank you to all the fans. Despite of all those things happen, I did my best. I did my best in the fight, and I really thought that I won the fight.
Barrios, on the other hand, seemed content with the result. He acknowledged Pacquiao's skill and experience, but appeared to suggest that the draw was fair. This only added to the frustration for Pacquiao's camp.
They just told me, that they felt that I needed, to pick it up to really to solidify the win, to make sure that that the decision wasn't swayed, and yeah.
Did you feel that yourself when you were in there going into those last 3 rounds?
Did I feel like?
Did you feel that yourself going into those last 3 rounds that you were down on the card potentially?
Not necessarily.
Last question, boys.
Not that I was down on the card, but like I said, just to make sure I solidified the win, I knew I had to pick it up.
Mario, the rematch. Do you think that's something that'll happen? Obviously, he thinks he won the fight. It was a good experience for you both. Do you think you can run this back to the end of the year?
If he wants it, I'm with it. But if not, I'm still going to be moving on, to the next best option.
According to those close to Manny, the team felt confident from round 1 that they were in control of the fight. The strategy was simple: stay active, frustrate Barrios, and avoid heavy exchanges unless necessary. Pacquiao followed it to perfection, which is why the result stung even more.
That to me, I was amazed. I've seen Manny in the gym, I saw him working, but until you see a guy in the fight, you don't know 100% what you're going to get. The guy was so smooth, relaxed. I had him up going into the 10th round, maybe by 4 or 5 points. So I'm very disappointed that I don't know what the judges saw. I really don't understand.
So we've just had a press conference and you can see even though Manny doesn't, say it himself in his emotions, he's disappointed. How do you guys regroup from that, and what was the mood like in the dressing room after the fight?
It was just kind of disbelief a little, like, how does that happen? Why does that happen? Manny Pacquiao at 46 years old, making history, vintage performance, gave it his all in the ring.
Despite the controversy, Sean Gibbons believes Pacquiao's stock only rose with this performance. Even those who doubted his return were impressed. At 45, Manny showed the kind of movement, reflexes, and ring generalship that fighters a decade younger struggled to produce. His conditioning was sharp, his combinations crisp, and his defense intelligent. If this was meant to be a one-time return, it was a reminder of just how special Pacquiao is. If he chooses to fight again, there's no question fans will show up, especially after feeling he was wronged in this one.
And why, he's been robbed on a few occasions. Now he's got a few, decisions that were close, that went his way. But the mood was like just disbelief. Just like, why does it happen? I don't get it.
With the fight itself, what was you most pleased with from Manny's performance?
Was it?
With the fight itself, what was you most pleased with from Manny's performance?
Well, I mean, everything. I mean, the guy, for 46 years old and training 7 weeks, he had stamina, he had speed. Just overall, it was like watching history repeat itself. I mean, I was really thinking this is going to be incredible.
Many in the boxing world now want to see a rematch. Given the way the first fight ended, it would not only sell well, but also give both men a chance to set the record straight. For Pacquiao, it would be an opportunity to silence any doubts and prove once again that skill and legacy still matter. For Barrios, it would be a chance to prove that he deserves to share the ring with a legend, and potentially do it without controversy hanging over the result.
Whether you're a Filipino, Mexican, you saw boxing, and I think that's what boxing is missing. Just the heart. You see flashbacks of Pacquiao, Barrera. I liked it. The fans were good.
Did you think it was a draw?
I didn't.
You didn't. Who you thought won?
I thought Barrios won. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he edged it out because you gotta legitimately beat the champ to, you know what I'm saying? And he was fighting for the belt. So, my respects to Manny. I mean, he's 47 years old, and it's for what he's doing and how he looked, I take my hat off to him.
While official word on a rematch hasn't come out yet, the pressure is mounting. Fans, promoters, and even neutral observers see it as the natural next step. It's not just about money or entertainment, it's about fairness. This isn't just any fighter being denied a win. It's one of the greatest to ever lace up glove. And when someone like Pacquiao feels robbed, the boxing world listens.
Did you think the fight was close, Manny, or you thought you won by 3-4 points?
I would my scorecard is 8-4.
Okay.
8-4 or 7-5 is the worst.
When they announced the decision and they said it was a draw, what were you thinking in your mind?
It's happened again.
Bobby said that you told them it was like sparring. Bobby Pacquiao said, your brother said you told them it was like sparring.
It felt like it was a sparring.
For now, all eyes are on what Manny Pacquiao decides to do next. Will he demand a rematch and seek redemption? Will he finally hang up the gloves after once again feeling robbed by the system? Or will this injustice only fuel his fire to return even stronger? One thing's for sure, fans are locked in now more than ever. The controversy has reignited interest in a legend many thought had finished his story. And in a sport that often forgets its heroes, Manny's name is echoing louder than ever. Whether this becomes the turning point for change in boxing or just another chapter in a long list of questionable outcomes remains to be seen. But what is clear is this: Manny Pacquiao still has the heart, the skill, and the passion to fight, and the world still wants to watch. If you don't want to miss a single update on Manny's next move, the fallout from this fight, and everything happening in the boxing world, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Your home for real boxing talk, unfiltered reactions, and deep fight breakdowns.